Ciara Wilson continues to get the brunt of the manosphere hatred. Recently, she added Wilson to her son's last name.
When this child grows, is it going to be a product of Future or a product of Wilson?
He's actually pouring into him on a daily basis.
If he didn't change the last name or add the last name, that's less respect.
So my personal experience as a child who had a different last name from the rest of the family, yeah, it did make a difference. For some reason, Ciara Wilson continues to get the brunt of the manosphere hatred no matter what she does. So recently, she basically added Wilson, not changed, but added Wilson to her son's last name with Future. What does it mean for stepfathers in general in regards to Ciara adding Wilson to the last name? And let's be honest, what does it mean for that child? I know that was 3 questions, but it really, what does it mean for this family is what I'm getting at. And should people be up, as particularly men, should they be up in an uproar about this addition to Future's legacy last name?
Look, I ain't gonna hold you, man. To me, it's an issue of nature versus nurture. Okay, and I'll put it to you like this: Future gave the DNA. Russell is giving he giving the identity. He's raising the child. He's giving the child his thought processes, his wisdom, his paradigm, his worldview. Right? He's also caring for, nurturing, and doing all these other things for the child. And I think that deserves some credit. Because when this child grows, is it going to be a product of Future or a product of Wilson, or better still, more likely, a product of both? I feel like people should, and I don't say it's a lot, but you should give Ciara some grace, man. Back up off of her. Okay, she guilty of a lot of reasons you can clown her if you want to clown her, but this ain't one. This is not one. This is her showing respect to the man who is actually putting in the time and the work to make sure her son is a fine, upstanding Black man. So hats off to the whole family and the Future, man. Look, it's better when we cooperate and collaborate. And what you're doing right now is just noise, bro. Just get on the team, man. You still on the jersey? It's just hyphenated. Go ahead.
Is it hyphenated?
Is the jersey hyphenated?
No, you just added it.
I was about to go look.
No, it's hyphenated. They said she just added it.
Yeah, she just added it. Yeah.
Okay, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you know what? It's like Jay said. I mean, it's really a mix of two. I'm kind of split minds about it because he is doing the raising. He's actually pouring into him on a daily basis. And I mean, Future's got a lot of other legacies. I mean, if this was his only son, maybe like, okay, fine. We've got to maintain the Future legacy. But he's got a lot of legacy. He's got legacy to spare. So I think Russell being willing to do it, Future signing off on it. I mean, he has to sign off on it, as far as I know. I mean, somebody can correct me on the legalities of it. But I think this is a good way to kind of honor both of those men who are, pouring into this son in his own way. And if he ever does play ball, he's definitely going to have a long jersey name. So I'm eager to see how that plays out.
The fact that Future signs off on it means nothing to me. I hear y'all, right? And I don't know if he did. It means nothing, right? Because, sometimes, baby moms can hold certain things hostage, and the least you can do is sign this piece of paper, right? Because you're never there, not in the way that all that other shit that some women do to justify whatever their hearts desire. I guess I'm kind of curious because my thought process is like, so if he didn't change the last name or add the last name, that's less respect. Adding the last name had to be the next level of let's show this nigga respect because he's doing this. Oh my bad. Right? I'm hearing y'all talk like for the reasons why this should be okay. Like I'm trying to think even within my own family, right? I call people by their first names. I mean, we all have the same last name, but I can't remember the last time unless we're taking pictures or, hey, we're being introduced as a group. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are, because people would say like, let's just change the last name because we'll all be together. We'll be Wilsons together. But no, nigga, no, it's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessary. So to me, if it wasn't like adoption, for example, cool. Adoption sounds cool. I mean, does that include the last name? Was that optional, right? So like, can you adopt a nigga and legally feel like, hey, I'm your dad in that way because I've been raising you, but hey, keep the nigga last name because that's your biological father. And in case at some point in time when you have kids, you're going to pass down that legacy and name, that's cool. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not necessary, right, it falls into the category of doing too much, which is why red pill niggas be having issues with Ciara, right? It's like You know what I'm saying? It's like the hood rat chick who lucked up on a square and then just want to imagine that she was that, and she was never really that, is what I'm saying, right? It's like, you a Stepford wife now? Is that what you're doing? But every now and then you bring out the moves, and we remember Cece from back in the day, right? I think that's why niggas be having a problem. When she was on Jim Jones' interview talking about, I think you should get married, like, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have a life. The reason why you're doing this is because you had a child with another nigga before you met Mr. Wonderful, okay? So you was already living. And on top of that, for as much as y'all want to talk about Future, bitch, you was with him. What does that say about you and your vagina and your choices and your discernment? Like, for all the women who want to just boo-hoo, Future, 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 but she let the nigga fuck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he was a crackhead, all of us would be like, oh, damn, girl, you let that crackhead hit? Well, for all of y'all who feel some type of way about Future, that's how I'm looking at y'all. Like, okay, she let a crackhead hit if I listen to y'all. So anyways, in conclusion, okay, if it's not necessary, I'm trying to understand the need to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still show love and respect without changing shit. You know what I mean? You can still take the family photos. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to really be checking for the name credits? For real, for real. So I believe, because she has this narrative already about her, and there's already this narrative about Future, this is in the file of, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can change, you can add to the last name, but you can't add to the DNA, though, can you? No, you can't do
That's
that,
right.
though, huh? So,
He
exactly.
got you there.
That is not a solace thing, Jay. That's the point that I'm trying to make. What the fuck you think you're doing by adding to the last name? Did he get married? You know, you know,
He joined a new family.
my wife,
See,
did they have a
okay.
ceremony?
Look, do you name the
Get a
car after the
ring?
person who designed it or the
You see
person
how
who
weird
brands it and
that
puts it on the lot?
sounds? But go ahead, man.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and join in this conversation in this way. So first of all, I want to answer a couple of things. One, no one considered the child. It could have been a possibility where that child felt like he was left out because his last name was something different, and because his father, by all accords, by all of his baby mamas, were deadbeat. And while we're saying she laid with Future, at one point, I believe they were even engaged. So she was in a committed relationship with Future when she laid with him. Y'all act like she was just a scallywag on the streets. She was with him in a committed relationship. And y'all keep talking about her past, but that's bullshit. Everybody got a past. And y'all don't even got a whole litany of people who she don't have sex with. Y'all have like 4 or 5 people, and next you know, well, you gotta multiply that by 3. But it don't matter because first of all, y'all ain't fucking her. So for y'all to be so upset about who she doing and what she doing, and she 10 years deep with Russell. 10 years. What about his other 6 other baby mamas? I don't hear none of these dusty ass effers. I was going to say something else, but then I had to realize that I can't be like that on this fine channel. But anyways,
Man, talk to him, because he
none of
ain't talking
them,
to me.
none of them
You gonna let him talk to
is
you like
got
that?
any
You gonna let
got
Ethelyn
any
talk to you like that?
shade.
Get out of the comment section. But go ahead.
Don't even got shade for the rest of the baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? Or for Future himself. And I think it's because they look at him and say, oh, wait, that could be me. Matter of fact, that is me. Matter of fact, maybe they mad their stepdaddy or their mama didn't have a daddy in their life. And that's why they projecting on her, because she did get somebody who's willing to play stepdaddy. But that's besides the point. Let me talk from personal experience. So my personal experience as a child who had a different last name from the rest of the family, yeah, it did make a difference. Because every time I look up, it's like, oh, she's not an XYZ. Like, oh, she must have had a different father. Oh, she's not XYZ. Even though I had the same father, I just had a different last name. I know you're probably wondering how did that work, but it was a whole bunch of BS within that because I was the only girl, some other stuff. But anyways, with that being said, so it does make a difference. So I grew up and my brother grew up with different last names. And even at family reunions, it's still like, oh, that's his daughter. Oh, I didn't know he had a daughter because my last name is different. So I personally think that this is kudos to her because no one's taking consideration what that child may have felt like growing in a house full of Wilsons, and he's the only one who don't got Wilson attached to his name, especially considering that his father don't show up for him by all of course. Now, if his father was showing up for him, kudos to him, but that's not the case. And for those men in the larger scheme, the broader scheme of things who say, oh, she's trying to erase his legacy. What legacy? He, like y'all pointed out, he already got the DNA. So the DNA is going to be passed. And if he don't want to be replaced, then don't be irreplaceable. or try to be irreplaceable. Either way it go, be present in that child's life and you wouldn't have this issue in the first place.
Okay, so I'm going to call Cap real quick on a couple of quick things before we move on, because that's not your father, though. Like, are we trying to just change reality and the factual nature of things? Okay, you're not a Wilson. It just your mom met him afterwards. That happens all the time. We have families that are a mixed case. We try to tell the truth. So I get it that in your case, you did have the same father. So I can see why you felt some type of way. It's like, wait a minute, I am part of the brew. But in this particular case, that's not the case. He can, and that's okay. Like, we can still love you, and your father came from somewhere else. I guess for me, it's not necessary to take this step, because there are plenty of people who don't take this step and still have a loving mixed family. So what are we talking about?
He's a father. He's a father because he's put in the time, right? A father is you. If I go to a sperm bank and make a deposit, does that mean every deposit I made needs to bear my last name? Of course not. Why? Because I'm not raising the child, right? If I write a song, that's great, but you know whose name is on the album? The producer, right? And the
Everybody's
person
on
who
the
sang
album,
it.
bro.
Man, but
Everybody
listen,
gets credit. You don't have to
yes,
replace
but
anybody necessarily.
nobody gets the money like the producer. Anyway, okay, it's a bad analogy.
It's a bad
But
analogy,
my point here is, for instance, in my own personal story, okay, I've spent the last 4 years, okay, raising a little girl who calls me dad, and she is not related to me at all. She is my oldest stepdaughter's daughter, but I have raised her from junk. So I'm her dad. She has seen her father. I don't know what she called that dude. She might call him dad too.
You changed
But
her
it doesn't
last
take
name?
away.
You
Huh?
changed her last name? You changed her
No, I'm
last
not
name,
going to
sir?
change her last name.
Okay, then what are we talking about?
Could.
What's up with these
And
private
I would
river
be,
stories
I
that are
would be
not
well
relevant?
within my rights because she's a product of what I did. She's my product.
Well
Yeah, he
within
put.
your rights, Jay, but why aren't you then?
I mean, I'm not petty.
Okay, come on. Whatever it is, come on, man. What are we talking about with these
I'm
little
just
heartstrings
saying.
they're trying to pull,
I'm
bro?
saying the
You
man
wouldn't
deserves
even
his.
do it.
He deserves his laurels.
You wouldn't do it.
I don't need them. But if Russ needs,
Exactly.
but he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? He
Well,
deserves it.
okay, so all right,
Okay.
so yeah, so that piece of paper just changed. Oh, all those diapers I changed, being a daddy for real. This just changes everything because you changed his last fucking name. The only point that I'm making is it's not necessary. And
Right.
to me, if it's not necessary, it sort of falls into the category of you might be doing too much. And with her track record, it falls more towards the latter. It's not a harder sell.